Hey, sorry, it's been quite a while. um, and I just wanted to give an update on what's been going on with me, and what's been going on with the channel, um, and give my Briar update. So this is gonna be a little bit longer, but hopefully, like, it doesn't bore too many people. Um, but it has been a bit since I have posted anything. Mainly because I've been recovering from surgery. I had top and bottom surgery last year in February, and I recovered here at Briar. I had so many amazing friends and faculty and the health center and the athletic trainer helping me recover. Um, I had friends and people come to my room and offer to help me out, do my laundry for me, because I couldn't really lift anything. Um, and just it was amazing. It really speaks to how much having a supportive environment is to just mental health in general, especially being transgender, or LGBTQ, or any sort of marginalized community. Having that support network, um, and I wish I recognize my privilege in that I have that benefit here of having that support network. Now, granted, it wasn't easily won, but I'm grateful every single day. I had friends from the field hockey team that literally drove out 7 hours away to stay with me in the hospital and to pick me up and bring me back. And I had seniors and stuff from Briar coming up and congratulating me, or going up, and this one girl, she came up and whispered in my ear, like, I hope you enjoy using it, referring to my new bottom parts. And it's such a stark difference from how I was treated at my old college, and at home and things. It's not that like my parents aren't supportive. It's just it's more of in where I'm from, you don't talk about it. You don't bring attention to it. Here, people want to know. Like, you can be open about things, and to my knowledge, I'm the first open transgender female that is living on campus, that is pursuing a degree, and it's an all-women's college. Plus, I'm playing an all-women's sport, and I haven't been struck down by God yet. um, I have not really received, from the student body at least, much negative criticism. I've gotten a lot of support. I sometimes wonder if it's more like everyone just wants to be friends with the trans girl. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but the student body here has been very supportive and kind, and there have been hiccups, there have been struggles, and the faculty some have been great, others not so great. I will say that, like, the faculty I have worked with on making changes, they have been upfront and honest with me about what the process is, what's going on, why we are the way we are, etc. But with them doing that, that shows me that, okay, they're willing to be honest with me, but they're also willing to work and to bring more people here to the future. Like, I took a year of fighting to finally get approval to live in the dorms. I'm actually living in a suite now. My roommate is sleeping. I feel bad for her. But, like, I live in the dorms now, on a floor with other women, and no incidences, no problems, communal showers, all that. And shocker, there's been no issues of discrimination or complaints or anything, because everyone here just sees me as Erica. Like, people know that I'm trans. Like, I walk around campus and people will be like, "Oh my God, you're Erica, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then they're like, "Oh, well, do you want to like go get lunch? Do you want to hang out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I love friends. Let's make friends." And eventually it comes up, and or I'll mention like being a guy, and like at one point in my life, and they're like, "Oh my God, like I forget, I can't even remember, can't even imagine you're just Erica," and that means a lot. And I think it kind of shows as a case study of the importance of having such a supportive environment, in that it reduces things like depression, suicidal ideation, anxiety. Um, Whereas, some people will argue that just being trans in general, oh, well, the transition makes you more likely to be suicidal, or whatever turning point you say, or whoever is arguing now. But I'm a sophomore now, started my sophomore year, and I'm in a tap club. That's this thing. Well, I'm was invited. I'm not in yet, but it's similar to our sororities. But that's all I can really talk about. And like I've basically just been brought in like every other student. I'm 30 years old, and like these 19 to 24-year-olds are treating me just like their peers, and it's kind of great. Field hockey. Like I said, I play field hockey, and to my knowledge, I'm one of the first transgender female field hockey players in the NCAA. Waiting for it to be official, so it's not 100% official yet, but we're waiting on the paperwork. And I can say like my team is phenomenal. The Sweet Briar field hockey team, like the coach and the teammates and the captains are such a close family. Whenever I'm struggling or have an issue, or even if it's not even like related, people reach out and they are willing to help. And my coach, she pushes us hard, but she's also like, she's been kind and empathetic, and has had my back since day one, and tries very hard to make sure I feel included. And it sounds weird, because we don't want to make this environment like, oh my God, we have to like cater and make everybody feel included. But she, I think, understands that not only am I an older student, but I'm transgender, and sometimes it can feel like that I'm not really part of the team. I'm there, and everyone's like, yay, but sometimes in my head I'm like, oh my God, no, like I didn't really contribute, I didn't really do much, because these girls have been playing field hockey for like 5-6 years or more. I have been playing for 1 semester, so I don't really have that much skill. But she's like there to remind me to like lean on my teammates, and that I do belong, and that I do matter, which is also really important. Seriously, like I think I'm gonna do a video on how to be a coach for transgender athletes, because she's done a lot of the right things. My athletic trainer, phenomenal, same thing. And like I said, I've had hiccups. I've had people message me or tell me like, you don't belong there, or, oh cool, you're cheating. Really? Because my team right now is winning hands down, and I have not played a game yet because of medical issues. So if we're cheating, then it's not me. And my team has been like when I came back from summer break, and I've been struggling with some medical issues, half of them came up immediately and just gave me hugs, and like, if you need anything, like, we're so happy to have you back. And like, I have to share this. So like, the thing that meant the most to me was when we went into the locker room, and right there I had my own locker with my name on it, my jersey number, and we had our new gear, and it was just like, that was like that solid moment of like, hey, like, I made it, we made it, you know. And it's so important to understand that, like, sure, those are little things, but those little things make such a difference in people. And that, and for people who are watching this, if you're trans or anything like that, and you're in a similar position, I want to implore you and remind and just offer advice of, it's very tempting to go balls to the wall and advocate and be like, this is wrong, and absolutely call out things that are wrong and things that are being treated incorrectly. But it's also very important to advocate for yourself and others with empathy, and to understand that you can only do so much, but also the importance of getting the student body supporting you. Like, the student body here has supported me, and I don't think it's just like, I think one, it's just because they're just good people, but I think as well, like, I try very hard to just be a good person, like, help people out, listen, just be normal, and if somebody has a problem, like, ask them or how they're doing, and I don't know, just treat others how you want to be treated, and then in turn they're like, oh no, Erica's, like, you know, we like her. I actually just came from hanging out with some friends that they had wanted to meet me for a while, and we just had talked over Instagram, but we never did, and it was just a nice, like, sit and talk and have a conversation, and you know, and they were honest with me, like, hey, you know, we were, like, we wanted to, like, talk to you and include you, but we didn't want to, like, be weird about it, we didn't want to overstep, and I'm like, hey, it's just being friends. But, like, you know, that's, I think I've somehow done a decent job at communicating that, hey, I don't have to be an educator for you, but I'm willing to educate, and I'm willing to help you understand, and that I'm not a threat like so many people think. Even today, we had ribbon cutting ceremony for the health center, and I, as a SGA member, I'm non-traditional chair, I was invited, and so I went down there and talked with people, and I was honest, and gave one of the people that donated the money for it and got the building named after it. She asked me, like, well, she asked our group, you know, what do you guys think? And I told her how, like, you know, a building is just a building, but when you fill the health center with people that care, like what we have, our nurse Laura is phenomenal, and that you have this community of trust and nurture that, then you're going to have a very successful thing. And I kind of talked about it, and afterwards, the director, or the head of alumni relations and other stuff, they were just like, wow, you know, she really loved what you said, and she really appreciated it, and, you know, thank you so much for advocating for that. And you know, I think there's a temptation sometimes of when you're, like, you know, all of the board of directors were there and stuff, and it was like, there's that opportunity of, oh, I'm just going to, like, schmooze up to them so that way I can, like, get them to do what I want and stuff. But it's like, no, like, people can see through that. Just be yourself, be genuine. And like, I didn't talk to half of them, and but, like, the people I did talk to, I was just myself. And like, I guess in my mind, I'm like, I'm here to show you I'm not a threat. And I had people come up and say, oh my god, yeah, I remember I follow you on Instagram, you're Erica. And I'm like, yeah. And I was partially panicking because I'm like, oh my god, like, I think them and I had an argument at one point, or I don't know. But like if you're there advocating for like trans people or people of color or marginalized communities on your campus, don't like show them that you're human, and show them that like their words, their actions matter, and that it affects people, because then it's harder to continue the incorrect practices, and it's harder to bring about change. I wish I could say that we're changing more, but it's slow, but we're getting there. And as for like classes and stuff, I'm in my sophomore year, and my professors have been great in trying to accommodate me having autism, and like help me out on missed assignments, and to make sure that I understand. And having those smaller class sizes is great. My psych class, we sit there and like we've had such. I was studying a master's in counseling, and I've never had as in-depth and insightful discussions about mental health and psychology and approaches to psychology than in this like sophomore level psych class. And I think it goes to show that the community here, now granted, not this Sweet Briar isn't for everybody, and that's okay. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. There are people here of different demographics and different groups that they have their own struggles, and it unintentionally gets projected onto others, and so some people decide, hey, this isn't for me and I want to leave, and that's fine. Again, this is a small school, it's not for everybody, but if you're willing to, Sweetbriar is what you make of it. And again, it has its problems, but so does so many other schools. And here, at least, with those problems, it feels like we have some sort of a voice to change that, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like, I had someone talking to me over the summer, and I thought this person didn't like me. To be real honest, she's very like passionate. She's a leader. She's a little intimidating, and she's very much like, hey, like I'm going to address this problem now if there's a problem, and I'm going to advocate. And we were talking about a plan to move forward with something in the future, and she ended up saying like, hey, all of my sisters went to Sweet Briar. She's like, when I'm graduating, she's like, so all of us are sitting there, and we are all Sweet Briar alumna. We are all sisters in school. She's like, except for my one sister. She said, my one sister's transgender. She was born with assigned sex as male, and she couldn't go because of the policy of here you have to have a birth certificate that says female. And she's like, so when I found out, Erica, that you were coming here, she's like, I was excited because she was like, I was hoping that you could show them that like women like me belong here, and we're not this problem that everyone thinks we are. And she's like, I wish that my other sister could have come here, and maybe she will again in the future, but hopefully we can change stuff. And so like that meant a lot, because there's no rational reason why this woman should not have been allowed here. Sweet Briar is an all-women's college. It is a college that empowers women, especially women from underserved and oppressed and marginalized demographics. That trans women are prime people that could benefit so much from here. But there's so much misinformation and fear, and this idea of we're just sexual deviants, that we're gonna make people uncomfortable, and like we don't, whatever, we're just a man in a dress, blah blah blah. I don't want my daughter going to a school with with someone that could have a penis, etc. It's like, okay, that's cool. Don't expose your kids to somebody different, but also, um, you know, your rights don't allow you to infringe on others. That's a reality. We all have rights in this country if you're a U.S. citizen, and if you're not, you have some. And the way freedom and rights work is that you are able to express them up until they infringe the rights of others. And we've forgotten that as a country recently, but we're getting back there. And we, as trans women, are not these sexual deviants that are always talked about. I mean, look at the news, and the people that are getting arrested every day for pedophilia are, shocker, old white men. Weird. It's like people that kind of have power are going to be the ones who abuse it. Whereas you see the news about trans people, and it's either about a bathroom, it's about some form of healthcare rights, it's about some crazy misconspiracy about, like, trying to force our kids to be trans. Yeah, okay. If we could force people to be trans, then we could force people to not be trans. And I promise you, it doesn't work that way. Or the murder and death of trans people. And I can be honest, like, there have been times I've been fearful. I've had, like, people invite me over to their dorm room or whatever with a group of friends, and I'm like, do I need to be careful? Like, do I have to be worried that they're just inviting me over to, like, because they don't agree with who I am and want to, like, set me up with something or, like, cause a problem? I don't know. But it's very easy to be a headline, and it's very stressful sometimes because I just want to do my thing. But I also realize that I can't just do my thing, and that I notice when certain faculty and staff go out of their way to talk to me or notice me, or I notice when, like, I'm with a group of friends and a faculty or staff member or administrative person would be like, oh, hey, Erica, like, how are you? You look great, all this. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't even know who you are. And they make no mention of my friends who are standing right next to me. But there's, like, this, like, I don't know, this guilt of, hey, we need to talk to the trans girl. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. Like, I just assume it's kindness and people being supportive. But at the same time, I wish that the school would be more willing to openly support and promote the fact that, hey, we are breaking down barriers. We have one of the first trans female athletes for field hockey in the NCAA. We have one of the first trans female students going to an all-women's college. Some schools have had some, but it's been hit or miss. And I wish it didn't feel like I was being hidden sometimes. But yeah, sophomore year, going in strong. The classes are good. Professors have been pretty good and supportive. Students have been amazing, as always. Some bad. I had a few issues where people were saying, you can't avoid the drama, and someone said that I did something that I didn't, and blah, 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 and I was like, alright, whatever. But yeah, if you're thinking about going to Sweet Briar, feel free to ask a question, or if you want to see something like what the dorms are or whatever, feel free. If you are of a marginalized community and you want to come here, if you have specific concerns or questions, let me know. I am more than willing to talk to you. If you are a ally, I'm like, yeah, that's cool what you're doing. Being like one of the first trans girls to go to a school like this, I was like, appreciate your support. Leave a comment. If you are against it, go for it. But I'm gonna be honest, if you leave a comment of, like, you know, I've had a few paragraph long comments that have been, here's medically why you are still a guy and you should feel guilty and you are taking advantage and blah, blah, blah. I promise you, I probably have more official education and training and knowledge in the field of biology, especially concerning the development of humans, both physically and psychologically. And I don't have the time to just like respond to every misconception or misnomer. So, if you don't agree, you don't agree. That's fine. Let me know. But also know that I'm not doing any harm here. No one's hurt. I haven't taken away any scholarships. I guess theoretically I'm taking a room of the dozens that are empty. I'm just a student, and if anything, I think if you ask some students, I've actually done some decent good. At least I try to help. So, I don't know, consider that. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And sorry for the length. This might be a two-parter. I don't know. We'll find out.